Good morning again, everybody. Welcome again to my channel. This morning I woke up just thinking about some things. As you all know by now, I am a deeply religious and I don't like to use the word religion though, or religious, but let's call it that I'm a person who is always caught up with spiritual matters over other temporary matters. And I was thinking about if you've been following me on my channel, I've been having some problems lately with the idea that we have a God who created us, and the world in which we live is just a cold world, and sometimes God seems like He's absent. And this sometimes will lead to us becoming unbelievers, atheists, infidels. But there is no such plan on my part, because I cannot believe in evolution. There is no way, for instance, you can tell me that an unintelligent explosion that the atheists call the Big Bang, it just happens. Normally when an explosion happens anywhere, it's usually chaos that is caused. Never order, never beauty. Explosion, bang. If you use, for instance, a grenade or a bomb in anywhere and set off that bomb, you will never ever find anything coming out of that except chaos. Take for instance, when a plane crashes, it's like a bang, an explosion. It's always mangled, wrecked, and disorder. So there is no way I could accept that an explosion, an unintelligent explosion called the Big Bang by these atheists and scientists who don't believe in God. And out of that Big Bang, right, came what is called the sun. And the sun don't just appear. It appears for a reason. We cannot do without the sun. Everything depends on the sun. I remember while going to college, there were 3 weeks of rain and no sun. And you know what was the result of that? Our clothes in the wardrobe became mildewed. So from there I recognize how important the sun is, and I don't need to give you a lesson in what the sun, the purpose of the sun. Yeah, the sun is there to give us energy on which life depends. The plant depends on it. The earth depends on it. Human beings depend on it. So how can one say there is a big explosion is just responsible for all of that? It doesn't make sense to me. And then out of that explosion, you're saying to me that there came the earth. Yeah, there came the earth, this beautiful place that we all call home. And you're telling me that this big explosion created this beautiful earth with the seas and the trees and the birds and the bees and all life and everything that man creates is created out of the earth. We get oil out of the earth on which we drive our cars. We get gold, we get silver, we get all kind of stuff that are built from the earth. And more importantly, we get food from the earth. And by the way, the earth is aligned with the sun, so that if the earth was 1 inch closer to the sun, we would burn up and no life could be here. Or if it was 1 inch farther, and I say inch for the lack of a better term, because it's even less than an inch. But if it was 1 inch further, we would freeze to death. So are you trying to tell me this big intelligent explosion just took place and aligned the earth properly, where the sun doesn't burn us up? Is just right for human existence, for animals existence, for the plants to grow, and for even the earth to replenish and give us food. Oh my gosh, food on which we all depend. Yeah, and then out of that big explosion, are you trying to tell me that this explosion was so intelligent that it yielded water on which we all depend? Rain, yeah, rain, water is life, they say. Are you trying to tell me that this explosion was so perfect and intelligent that it brings about water? Can you do without water? Most of us human beings can do without food, but you cannot do without water for very long, or you go dehydrated and die. So, and when, what amazes me sometimes, when you look up in above you, you don't see a reservoir, you don't see water, but God has a way of providing us with water through rain. Those are things to ponder. So everything depends on water. Whenever there is no water, there's drought and there's death of plant and death of animals, and even in some parts, death of human beings. And are you trying to tell me that this explosion, right? So see, I'm saying water. I mean, animals all depend on this. We talk next about we live on a planet where we depend on the right mixture of oxygen. If you have too much of one, nitrogen, you'll die. So you need oxygen on which the human depend. And you're trying to tell me that this explosion, this Big Bang, is so intelligent that it also provides us with oxygen that we can breathe. Even if you should go up in a helicopter or a plane, after you reach a certain height, you cannot breathe up there again. So the earth was made for us, perfectly designed for human beings to live. So is this Big Bang so intelligent that it bring about all these, and they all are interrelated, they all are interlinked? Then you're telling me on top of that this big explosion is so intelligent that the explosion caused a thing called a female, and then a male, and the explosion is so intelligent that these two fit perfectly together. This right here is a receptor on the female, yeah? This is the receptor, and this is the boy. This is the plug, and this is the receptacle. Yeah, the giver, the receiver. And when they come together, this intelligent explosion so happened that when these two come together and they join together, they end up having and producing this offspring, kids. Are you trying to tell me that this Big Bang is so intelligent that it yields all of this? My friend, only if you're a fool you believe that there is no God. So I don't know, something is just wrong in a person who says that it's just a Big Bang that created all of this and all of this result. the design of the human body. Yeah, when I think about even your very, think about this, my friend, your teeth. Yeah, it has a level at which to grow. Because if your teeth keep on growing like your hair or your fingernails, you know what would happen? Your mouth could not close. I'm holding this camera to the point where my hands are shaking. I should have it on a stick, but this is not a professional thing right now. But anyway, I'm trying to make the point. Yeah, this beautiful thing called your teeth, if it kept on growing, yeah, or even your gum, if it overgrows, or your tongue when you're speaking, if it was too long, you'd bite your tongue every time you speak, or bite your gum every time you speak. It happened to me recently where my gum was overgrown, and whenever I eat or chew, I'm biting on my gum. But the Almighty God has created us in such a way that everything is in perfect sequence and perfect order, you know. Even your hair, it's placed right where it belongs. Your eyes, your nose, your teeth, your everything, your mouth, your body. Even I think sometime when I'm going down the stairs or going up a stairs, and I see, what if my knees couldn't bend, my friend? How would I walk? Yeah, I have seen a friend some years ago who lost one of his big toes, and he walks with a hop, because we cannot do without our toes. We can't do without any part of us. Cannot do without a finger. Everything was placed right where it belongs by the Almighty Creator. So there has to be an intelligent person who put all of this, and it's only take for us to think. When they're teaching in school that there is no God and it's evolution will come from monkey, it's absolute nonsense, because it takes an intelligent person, being, God, whatever you want to call it, to put things together. Our body parts, everything is correctly placed where it should be. So there has to be someone responsible for organizing everything, and everything is interrelated, interdependent. You can't do without the sun, you can't do without the moon, you can't do without all food and the earth and all of these things, oxygen. You can't do with them. So I am a strong believer that out of this, it's just like your phone. You could not say that your phone just came out of a bang and it just keeps the time, and you can Google and you can do all kind of stuff with the phone. You can make call, and you're telling me that it's because of a explosion that this phone came together and keep the perfect everything together, and date and time and phone calls, and you can Google and use it in so many ways, download an app, etc., etc. It takes an intelligent mind, right? Likewise, it takes an intelligent mind to design all these things. So, my friend, I won't tell you that I don't get angry with God. I won't tell you that I don't wonder why He seems to have made us and abandoned us. But I tell you that I believe in Him. I believe in Him, because design speaks to me. There has to be a God. I even think of birds. I am a lover of birds. And when you think of the birds, if you think of the wings of a bird, how the eagle, they're just able to lift themselves and fly. You try that as a human being and see how far you get. You can't do it, because He didn't design us to fly, but He designed the bird, and their wingspan has to be perfectly designed for them to do flight. Right? I think of animals. Even when animals are mating, if the horse, for instance, the male horse, was small like the dog, and the female horse's size. If one was bigger than the other, then they could mate. They both have to have the same size for them to mate. I've seen it already where animals don't even know how to mate. and it was just way off. Anyway, I don't want to stray from the topic. But the point is, my friend, as I conclude, everything shows that there is a God if we just take time to listen, take time to think, and take time to just think. Just think about life, and you will understand and agree that there has to be a creator. Yes, we may not agree with everything that he does, and we may not understand why he allows suffering, why he allows death, why he allows us in this evil world, and why he does nothing about the plight of children, the wars that we have, and why he doesn't intervene. The other day a plane was shot out of the sky. I questioned God, how come you don't intervene in those things? Why are you just watching these evil people do evil things? But he has his reasons for everything, I guess. And I just want to be saved in his kingdom, that one day I'll be able to understand more about him, more about life, and more about the reason why we're here and the reason for our existence. Thank you very much for listening. I hope that I inspired you. Please like, subscribe, and share this video for people who don't believe in God. Let them begin to think, because some people don't even stop to think about the simplicity. It's not too hard to believe in God. You just need time to think. Bless you. God bless. Take care. Bye-bye. Until our next video.